got me in my feelings right now. So I'm on TikTok Live and I'm also on YouTube. Yes, I'm crying, y'all. I'm a crybaby. I'm crying. Now listen. Sorry, I'm on TikTok Live, YouTube. Let me show y'all. I'm on TikTok Live. Okay, so anyways, this is what happened. I was sitting here and God started talking to me. He told me that I needed to get this message out. So I'm getting this message out. Oftentimes, we don't realize that the things that we do and say to people is going to affect them for life. We don't realize that. There's so many people out here who have SA'd people and thought they were just going to get away with it because they thought, let me do this to this person because this is a feeling I'm having. But this person ain't going to remember it, or this person ain't going to snitch on me. So they'll just do that to somebody. They don't realize that that's something that that person, if they don't ever say anything, they're holding on to it for the rest of their life. They're treating people like crap. They're treating their own bodies like crap. They're being spiteful and hateful at work. Like they either become super nice and open people to the point that things are constantly happening to them, or they become so rude that they never let anyone else in. All because of an act that you chose to do. It's the same thing with like abuse. When you go through an abusive relationship with someone, that person doesn't realize that they are literally indoctrinating things into your mind for the rest of your life. It does not matter how long you have been away from your abuser. Once you are abused, the things that they say and do to you never goes away. It never goes away. And I'm not just saying that because of myself. I've only been away from my first abuser for 3 years, 4 years. My second abuser, I've only been away from him for 6 months. And I'm literally looking at you in your face and telling you that it never goes away. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I have a mother who went through it. And I went through it with her. My mother was abused in front of all 5 of her children all the time. All the time. But my mom was the type that fought back. She's pulling lamp fixtures down and knocking you in the head with it. She's holding, so I don't know if I can say that on TikTok Live, but she will get you. She didn't care. You put your hands on me, one of us gonna die today, and it ain't gonna be me. That's how my mom was. I watched that every day when I was a kid. Every day. My dad was so disrespectful. He would bring women to the house and call them his friend, but really he was sleeping with them. My mom knew this. She wouldn't even trip with the women. But my dad would find reasons to trip with her all the time. He would always start fights and arguments with her. It was just crazy to me that my mom's abuser would make her feel like she was starting stuff. So I was just always like, I'm not going to date. I'm not going to date anyone because I don't want to be abused like that. I don't want to ever feel like crap. My mom felt like she was this big. She never did anything for herself. He wouldn't even let her work for over 20 years. Every time she tried to work, she started a home daycare. He ruined that. Every time she got a job, he would go to that job and make her lose it. He was abusive without even having to touch her, but he would touch her too. So dealing with that, I knew what financial abuse, mental abuse, physical abuse looked like. And I said, I don't want that. I don't. I got with a guy that I thought I was going to be with forever. We got married and everything, but he was abusive and he was a cheater and he wound up being exactly like my dad. My dad was also somebody who abused drugs and alcohol. Both of my exes abused drugs and alcohol. Literally the exact same things that I tried to run away from, I gravitated to. Do you not understand how that messes people up? And God wanted me to talk about this. He won't get it out of my head. I've been trying to just sit here and listen to music, and God's like, you got something to tell people, tell them. I put this in your head for a reason. I put this in your life for a reason. Tell them. You have to be careful what you do and say to other people, because just because it might be a way for you to express yourself, you might be damaging other people, and that's how the cycle continues. Abused people abuse people, which make those people abuse people, which make those people abuse people, which also make those people abuse people. Do you see where I'm going with this? When something happens to you, you project it to other people. And the person you projected it to projects it to other people. And it keeps doing that until somebody says, no, I'm not projecting this on nobody else. This happened to me, my mama, my grandma, my great grandma. My great grandma got unalived at work. She was a model. She was walking the stage and got unalived by her baby father. He went to her job and her in the head because she left him. Because she left him. She was Hispanic and black, so beautiful. A model. My mom is Hispanic and black. She don't claim her Hispanic side because her dad didn't raise her. But she's Hispanic and black. And her grandma was beautiful. But she died while her son, my grandpa, was in school. He was in elementary. And his dad went to his mom's job and shot her. And was on his way to his school to him too. But wound up either going to jail or dying. I don't know. But something happened to him. I wouldn't even be here if something wouldn't happen to him, because he would have unalived my grandpa before my grandpa got out of elementary. And I wouldn't be here. I'm here for a reason. God has me here for a reason. He wants me to teach people. He wants me to go through things so that I can stop other people from going through it. I was abused even though I watched my mom's situation and said, no, that will not be me. I avoided it. Didn't date. I had my first boyfriend when I was 19 and I got married to him. But how loyal I am, I didn't leave him when I should have. I should have left him when we first started dating. He was a cheater when we first started dating. The first time he choked me, I should have left him. You want to know why he choked me the first time? First time he put his hands on me? Let me give you the background story, because I'm all about giving the background. He was a teenager living with his grandma because his mom kept losing her place. He didn't want to live with them no more, so he slowly started moving stuff into my house. Long story short, his cousin gets a girlfriend and they move down the street from us. So we're hanging out at his cousin and her girlfriend and his girlfriend's house, and then him and his cousin leave. Me and the girlfriend are at the house by ourselves and we're bored, so we're like, let's make twerk videos. Why not? We were 19. Let's make twerk videos. So I'm wearing some big old sweats, but I got booty shorts underneath my sweats. So I take my sweats off. I'm wearing a big shirt, but I got a spaghetti strap underneath my big shirt. I take my shirt off. We about to throw ass. I'm about to take my stuff off. So I'm wearing shorts and wearing a shirt. She was already dressed comfortably. We're at her house. We start making twerk videos. We start sweating. Then we take a couple pictures together. They walk in and see us sweating and it's like, what's wrong? And we're like, nothing. And they're like, what were you guys doing? We're just laughing and looking at each other because we didn't want to tell our boyfriends that we just got through making twerk videos. We didn't want to tell them that. So we just were laughing. My ex-husband looks at me and goes, you got me up. And he grabs me by my throat, pushes me up against the wall and lifts me up like this. Mind you, he's 16 and I just turned 20 at the time. My feet are not touching the ground and he's holding me up by my neck, just looking at me like he wants to kill me. And I'm like, my 19-year-old, I was a virgin before I met you, mind, don't even understand what he thinks happened. So I'm like, what? Then he takes off walking. His cousin takes off walking. My dumb gets in my car and follows him. Why? I don't know. If I would have left him right there, I wouldn't have my first daughter. I probably wouldn't have none of my other kids either because I just would have stopped dating. But I loved him, so I followed him. And come to find out, he thought that me and the girl slept together. I was like, what? I'm not even gay. I mean, this was way back before I was open about stuff. I was like, I'm not even gay. What? And I didn't look at her like that anyway. So I was just like, what? So me and her weren't allowed to be friends anymore. I was shaking so bad that I went through my phone and deleted all the pictures and videos me and her just did because I didn't want to see it no more. I was like, wow, he just did all this to me. I was scared to tell my family. Like, should I have called one of my brothers and been like, this dude just choked me with one hand? Nah, I can't do that. So I didn't tell nobody. I was like, how do I tell somebody that? Like, it happened out of the blue. Abuse happens out of the blue. You don't even be knowing. You don't even know that that person is capable of doing that. And then when they do it to you, you're like, why did you just do that? So I'm the type of person that wants to know why. So I'm gonna question you, like, and I'll literally follow him around the house. Why did you choke me? Like, why did you do that? What made you wanna? That makes me even more mad. People don't like questions. Abusive people don't like to think about why they do what they do. They just do it. I hate you because I wanted to. I don't want to go through my mental bank and try to figure out what happened in my life to make me think that hitting people when something bad happens is what you're supposed to do. I just want to hit you, so I hit you. That's the type of man he was. That's the type of boy he was. He never wanted to talk about it when he put his hands on me. After that, he started giving me body shots. Every time I made him mad, he would punch on me. Let me tell you another story. This man, I have stories for days. My first, he was crazy. He Haitian. When you look at him, he just looks like a real pretty, dark chocolate skinned man. But no, he's Haitian. His dad is Haitian. And anyways, so not the next time, this was, he was doing it a lot. But one time that he put his hands on me, we had a big house. I was paying for it, of course. He was not a worker. We had 2 cars. I paid for both cars. He picked his cousin up to come spend the night over our house. We all had got really drunk. And me and him fell asleep on the floor in the front room. So we're deep sleep. His cousins sleep on the couch. We're asleep on the floor. And he gets up. He's like, I'm going in the room. I was still asleep. So I'm just like, I don't feel like moving. He's like, I'm going in the room. I said, I don't feel like moving. I'm good. And then I closed my eyes, went back to sleep. Do you know he punched me and then grabbed me by my throat and dragged me into the bathroom and started beating me up in the bathroom? And his cousin just sat on the couch like he didn't hear anything. And in my head, I'm like, I'm just tired. I'm getting hit because I'm tired. This is what I'm thinking in my head. How do I tell somebody about this? What should I have done? I analyzed stuff so much. I didn't even hit him back. I didn't defend myself. I didn't scream. Because I felt like if I screamed, he would have thought that I was trying to call for attention. So I literally stifled my cries and was just like, I'm just tired. That's all I kept saying. I'm just tired. You got me up. You want me to go in the room so that you can, my cousin? I'm like, I want you to what? First of all, I didn't tell you to get up. Second of all, I didn't tell you to go in the room. I just said I don't want to wake up because I'm too drunk. He wasn't trying to hear that. Like, that's the way abusers act. They don't see how you feel. They just know how they feel on the inside. And I realized I do that sometimes to people. Because my friend, she tells me this a lot. She's like, you're selfish. And I'm like, how? How am I selfish? After all the stuff I've been through, I take care of myself. I take care of my babies. And I still have a heart to help other people. How am I selfish? But I understand it now. Because she's really emotional, but she doesn't show it. She really cares about me, but she doesn't know how to show it. But we had a talk last night, and it really made sense. My baby's in the hospital. And I really got to hear how she feels about that because we talked last night. We were on the phone for hours last night. I was on live for some of it. But anyways, she basically was letting me know her daughter got sick. She took her daughter to the hospital. Her daughter got medicine. She took off work for a week. This is what happened last week. The week before last week. Okay, then last week, my kids are out of daycare all week. She wanted me to take my kids to the hospital when she took her daughter to the hospital because her daughter got sick at my house. I didn't know that. So, Millie's in the hospital. So I didn't know that, but I also didn't ask. She called me and told me her daughter was really sick, running 103 temperature. And I just kept telling her, I hope she gets better. I hope she gets better. I didn't know what else to say. I didn't know she was trying to tell me, take your kids to the doctor. I didn't know that's what she was trying to say. I wasn't thinking because I'm just like, my kids don't have a fever. She's telling me her daughter has a fever. Her daughter's throwing up. I said, my kids don't have none of that. They're fine. No. Now my baby's in the hospital. She's in the hospital because she's sick and she's not able to eat, right? But had I took her to the hospital last week, they probably could have stopped her sickness before it got to where it's at. Like, and it beats me up that I didn't understand that's where she was coming from, because she literally, like, I could tell she was either crying or she was about to cry when she was explaining it to me. And I was just like I was moving so fast thinking, okay, no, my kids are good. The salon is opening this week. I can't take off. They're good. Yeah, their nose is running a little bit, but they're good. That's all I kept saying. Every time she called me, she was calling me multiple times a day. My daughter still doesn't feel good. I didn't get that she was trying to tell me to help her. She didn't say help her. So I didn't know. She was saying take your kids to the hospital and also she needed help. I didn't understand that. But we talked and I understand it now. So I'm like, I kind of feel like I do people the way that I was done now. And I didn't even mean to. Like, my feelings were disregarded a lot. That's what I mean. I'm not an abuser, but I'm saying, like, my feelings were disregarded a lot. So I feel like I disregard people's feelings a lot. I don't try to disregard people's feelings, but I even think back to how I used to treat my family. My mom, she's done so much. Like, there was a point in time where she paid my rent for like 6 months. But she stopped paying it when she watched a woman walk out of my house, and she called and told me. And then I went home and asked my husband, did it happen? He said no. I told her, he said no. She thought I didn't believe her, so she stopped paying my rent. She's like, I can't help you no more. If he's going to be there cheating on you and you don't believe me. I didn't say I didn't believe her. I just didn't show her my reaction because I told him I knew he was lying and he had me effed up. But I didn't say that in front of my mom because I'm a private person. Y'all think I'm a public person because I post a lot. But stuff that's actually happening in my life, I'm very private about it. I show y'all things that I do. Like, yeah, I go to the store. I dance. I sing. I rap. Like, I do funny stuff. That's what I do. That's not my life, though. I like to keep my life private. So my mom didn't like the fact that she didn't get to see how I reacted, so she stopped helping me. So I completely understand, like, where people come from when they're on the outside looking in and they're like, okay, you're being abused, but you're not, or you're getting cheated on, but you're not telling nobody, so clearly it's not that serious. That's how they feel. But the person in the situation is like, I can't tell nobody. People gonna think I'm stupid. If I tell them what I'm going through, they're going to think I'm stupid. Why are you letting that happen? But I'm letting it happen because I want to know why. Why are you doing this to me? But once I realized, they will never tell you why. They'll gaslight you and make you think that they're telling you the truth. But an abuser is never going to tell you the real reason, because sometimes the real reason don't make sense. Sometimes people really are just abusing you because their mama wasn't, or their daddy wasn't there. And that's literally the only reason that they have to stand on to beat you. They don't want to tell you that. So they're going to tell you they're doing it because you did this and you did this and you said this and you wore this and you looked at them this way. That's what they're going to tell you. But the real reason is that they did not have a good support system, or they still don't. That's the real reason why they're abusing you. Realizing that has catapulted my mind so far. I understand people so much more now. And my children, I can never imagine my children going through the things I've been through. I'm such a mom who hones into my kids and pays so close attention to my kids that when they get sick, I feel it. And I feel like it's my fault. Like right now, it kills me that my baby is in the hospital. She's not even 9 months old yet, and she's in the hospital with a cold. But the cold got so bad that it's making it to where she can't eat. She can't eat. And she can't leave the hospital. If I would have jumped on it sooner, this wouldn't have happened. But the doctors told me it's not my fault. But being a mother, it's my fault. Because I should have took my baby to the hospital sooner. And my friend was trying to tell me that, but she didn't want me to feel like she was telling me what to do because I feel attacked easily. So the way that I act is the reason why she felt like she couldn't tell me what she meant. And now she's messed up about it. She feels like, she should have did more. Like, we both are messed up about the fact that my daughter's in the hospital right now. Tomorrow's my friend's birthday. Tonight is her birthday party. Me and my kids are supposed to be at her party, and we can't go because my baby's in the hospital. And so it completely messed up our whole plans for the weekend. And it's just like, I love my babies so much, and I still didn't make the right choices for them. And I know that it sounds so cliche to blame your abuse for everything that happens, but sometimes your abuse is the reason why you do the things you do. I was so used to having to go to work no matter what. I had to. So when my kids have a runny nose or something, I still had to go to work. Like I know you're supposed to take off work when your kids have a runny nose. When you're the only person providing, and when daycare is closed, you don't have nobody. I have so much family. I don't have no babysitter though. Even when I was living in town with my family, I had no babysitter unless I was paying. But even paying people, I couldn't get them to keep their word on watching my kids. So if daycare was closed, I had no sitter. I lost so many jobs behind that. So I'm like, now I couldn't lose no job behind my kids being sick. Yeah, they might have some runny noses right now, but they're good. No fever, no throwing up, they're good. And now my baby's in the hospital because I waited a couple days too late to take them. I blame myself. So yeah, your abuse can make you do certain things. And your abuse also can make you project things onto other people. I'm a very jealous person now. I was never jealous. But if I am focused on someone, I don't want them to talk to anybody but me. And that is very toxic. It's very toxic. It is. It's a toxic trait that I learned because I wasn't allowed to talk to nobody else. I would get choked, smacked, kicked for talking to or smiling at or hugging anybody else while I was getting cheated on. That was abuse. So I can't treat other people like that because I was abused. There's a lot of negative things that I do that I'm unlearning. I'm unteaching myself stuff that was taught to me. My dad was the blueprint of an abuser. He was the blueprint of somebody who literally didn't care about nothing or no one but himself. My dad is still alive and I don't talk to him. I can't tell you the last time I had a conversation with my dad that he wasn't asking me for money. I can't. My dad was abused as a child. His mom didn't believe the abuse. I love my grandma so much. R.I.P. Grandma Rosie. But grandma had a certain thought in her head about each one of her kids and each one of her grandkids, and you couldn't tell her no different. She always had her picks, and her picks were always the most damaged ones, but those was her picks. And if you wasn't one of her picks, you didn't get the type of love that her picks got. And my dad just wasn't one of her picks. But my dad's brother that was abusing him was her pick. And it sucks to say that, but it got swept under the rug. My dad was getting abused as aid since he was 10 years old by his older brother. So I understand why he acted the way that he acted. Does that make it okay? No. But he was sexually fluid because he was abused since he was 10 by his brother. He was abusive because he was abused since he was 10 by his brother. Everything that my dad did, it was because he was abused by his brother since he was 10. That still doesn't make what he did to his family okay. That still doesn't make the way that he treated his kids okay. That still doesn't make the way that he treated his wife okay. That still doesn't make the fact that he still doesn't have a positive relationship with any of his grandkids or children today okay. It doesn't. Because, Dad, you put me through a lot of stuff. But do I treat other people like crap because of it? No. I actually try my hardest to make other people feel as beautiful as possible because I never felt beautiful. I try my hardest to make other people feel as happy as possible because I don't know what being happy really feel like. I try my hardest to make other people see the light because it took me so long to get out of darkness. So I'm really just the type of person that always wants to show other people love. I always want to teach other people. Anytime I go through something, I want to tell y'all. I want to tell y'all. That's why I want to be on this platform. I'm a thespian. Elementary, middle school, high school, and college acting, theater. I went to Hollywood. I've done a lot. I have connections with a lot of people. But I'm still not famous because I focused on other people. That's the only reason why I'm not famous right now. There's so many people in my life that need help. And I felt like, let me put you on my back. All right, let's go. No. Because all that was doing was weighing me down. Nobody ever took the load off my back for a minute. They just kept piling more. And the more that got piled on my back, the less I loved myself. The less I loved myself, the less I did for myself. The less I did for myself, the more of my talent I forgot about. So there's a lot of things about me. I used to do stage plays, y'all. Do y'all know I was in for Colored Girls at WSU on stage? I was on stage at WSU doing theater, Wichita State University. 19 years old, front row. 18 years old, my bad, front row. I've performed dance on stage twice in front of rich people. Like, I've done a lot of stuff. I've been in commercials. I've done a lot of stuff. But I stopped doing this for myself because I wanted to clap for other people. But when I clapped for other people, all they did was turn their back on me. So it's like, okay, I didn't do this for you to do something back for me, but you can't appreciate what I did. So it started making me feel like I wasn't nothing. And I know there's other people who feel like this. Like when you get abused so much, you start to really believe the stuff they're saying. You ugly. I mean, don't you hit me because people try to hit on me at the store? But I'm ugly? I don't even think about that no more. I just think I'm ugly. I'm not listening to nothing else you're saying but the fact that you just called me ugly because I must be ugly. That must be why you're hitting me. I must be ugly. You broke. You ain't got a job. You live with me, buddy. Every car you drive is in my name, buddy. All the clothes you wear came out of my pocket, buddy. But I'm broke. Like, I would literally let this stuff get to me. You sit around and wait until I'm done doing hair so you can snatch the money off the table. But I'm broke? Like, I just literally laugh now at all the stuff that used to be said to me that I used to let keep me in the house. I would stay in the house because somebody was abusing me, but it was somebody who wanted me. I didn't want you. You found me on Facebook. I was on Facebook Live and on like the messenger stories dancing on my birthday, and you messaged me. I didn't want you, but I'm ugly. Like that type of stuff. That type of stuff is crazy. I'm making a YouTube video, y'all. TikTok. I'm making a YouTube video. But I was just basically explaining how so many people go through things and project it onto others. That's what you missed. And I was just saying that God called me to explain to people that you have to pay attention to the way that you're treating other people. You never know how other people are going to take what you say, what you do, and how long that's going to stick in their head. So more people have to start actually caring. And y'all, I'm sorry, I'm blind. I cannot read y'all's comments. I know a lot of people commenting. I can't respond to everybody because I can't see what y'all saying. I'm going to pick my phone up and read those in a minute. But let me finish this YouTube video, okay? I want to close this YouTube video with welcome to the Rosie Experience. I have a lot coming. I have years worth of experiences that I'm going to share with y'all. Because the way that I view experiences is I went through this. Now let me stop everybody behind me from going through it. That's the way I view everything. So I'm going to tell y'all from start to finish, things I've been through, things I've overcome, things that I've never spoke out loud. I'm going to tell y'all that stuff in multiple different, ways and on multiple different platforms. I have my podcast on Apple Podcast, Anchor, and Spotify. I'm going to put it on Pandora very soon. I'm working on that now with Pandora. And YouTube, be ready. Be ready. Because here very soon, I got something big about to pop and crack. Everybody just stay tuned with the Rosie Experience. Thank y'all for even tuning in. This YouTube video was 30 minutes long, but hopefully y'all actually watch the whole video because there's a lot of gems in here and it's very important. Now y'all have a very blessed day. Let me end this video.